horseshoe bend that happened. We had a man and a woman living together in the same home. They got two different ballot styles. We had to correct it immediately so that we could keep from it happening over and over again. We had an emergency meeting so that we could put into place the steps that we had to take to get it corrected for the rest of the voters. That was an emergency meeting.
And that was to correct the problem, that was a voter registration problem, not a election.
It was a voter registration problem.
So there's been a lot of problems with voter registrations and stuff like that, that would, you know, what do? You get together, you have a meeting, and you come up with a solution to rectify the problem.
Y'all do any of the registering of the voters, or is that all done downstairs in the?
Done in the clerk's office.
What I thought. Y'all aren't in charge of any of the registration or stuff like that. Y'all are just in charge of the election, the fair election, correct? So none of that's really y'all's concerns. Y'all don't have to deal with that.
Well, we have to deal with it if it is incorrect.
If it's not right, we have to deal with it. You know, it's imperative that the county get it correct. And up to now, there's been a lot of issues with it, which is why the specialists.
So y'all are in charge of the registration and making sure that everybody's registered correctly.
Well,
you are or you aren't?
Excuse me?
You are in charge of making sure that everybody's registered correctly?
That's the county.
That's the county.
So that the registration of them has nothing to do with y'all? Is that correct?
You know, there was a problem, the guy whose ballot problem, he's sitting right next to you, there was a problem with his, not being on certain ballots and stuff like that, the registrations were wrong and stuff like that, that was an issue with the, you know, something on the county law. You know, all of us need to get it right.
Well, I agree 100%.
You know, gotta get it right. The other thing is, you know, you all talk about a county employee doing the election coordinator job. I would not be for that, because now you have an employee working for an elected official, and there's a conflict of interest there. It needs to be somebody who is not, you know what I'm saying? Somebody on the outside who's better suited to do that.
Who appoints the election coordinator?
The election commissioners. But already saying 2002 and back to current, there's already discrepancies from that time too, because the county employee was in charge of their critical loyalty issue.
The state of Arkansas is okay with it.
All right, Joe, let's go ahead and read this. I'll do what I'm told. Let's read it.
Well, before we move on,
okay.
Before we move on though, I think y'all have to decide. I think I need to tell y'all. I think you have to be in compliance with this. Pay them for these things. However, there do have to be some kind of checks and balances, or else you're just at the mercy of the commission that's spending beyond your budget. So I think you're within your rights to set a certain amount as a budget and stick to it. And if that means that we have less places open, then that's what it's going to have to be. Is that something that the election commission, will y'all stay within a budget, or, but, okay, so how much more money are you asking for?
If you,
I mean, that's what these people, I represent.
The state says there has to be 2 weeks of
what?
early voting. And all we did was we followed suit with what was done the year before. All right, we had 2 weeks of early voting in Horseshoe Bend and Ozarka, 1 week in Calico Rock, and election day at the other 6 places. But there's 9. And this is going to be a busy election. If you want to cut down a polling place to have 1 week of early voting, I can see if we can do it. And that'll save us a little bit of money.
But David, you've got to give them a number. They've got to hear a number. What is that? Like, what is the plan right now?
The plan right now is to open Horseshoe Bend and Ozarka for 2 weeks of early voting, Calico Rock for 1 week of early voting, and every place else on election day.
So how much money do we owe you, or the commissioners, once we pass this ordinance? How much are we gonna have to pay for the primary to y'all? What do we still owe you?
You owe us $25 a meeting, we had 10, and you owe us whatever hours that we put in.
Do you know how many
I
hours?
have to look.
I didn't turn any hours in.
She didn't turn any hours in.
You didn't turn any in, but you kept up with them, you said it's somewhere around,
I don't know if
100.
Stephen did it
I
all.
heard 119.
I'll put it to you like this, all right? You owe us, as far as I'm concerned, $25 a meeting for 10 meetings. And there was a expense where I went to election commissioner training down in Batesville back last October. I gave them my mileage. They reimbursed the county for that in December. I have the email they sent me. And when I put in for it, I was told it wasn't budgeted. So,
Who told you that?
I don't remember. Might have been.
Well,
you.
no, you can't say that and then say that you
Might
don't
have been
remember
you,
who told
Warren.
you.
I think it was you. I went to.
I've
your
never
office
talked to
one
you
day.
about it being budgeted
Had it
anything.
even come to the quorum
No.
board or something
No,
like that.
no, you're lying, dude.
Well,
I'm
anyway,
gonna pull it up.
it might have been her. Eric,
Yeah, I don't-
did you tell me how to come to the quorum?
if it was last
Let's act
October,
like
I don't
gentlemen,
remember.
There's
I'll
no need for
promise
anybody
you.
to get excited and pissed off.
You gotta see our side of this though, I mean, for real.
I do.
I mean,
No, I do, absolutely,
Man, we're,
absolutely.
if y'all were within budget, I wouldn't care to tell you that, yeah, we'll do all this. But we're not within budget, not nowhere close.
We have to stay within our budget and everything.
I mean, you can't go over budget and salaries.
You know, there's a lot of unforeseen things that pop up. You know, I have my own household budget too. Last year, my car insurance went up $800 a year. That wasn't budgeted. I still had to pay. All right, so things pop up.
That or you had to get some different insurance.
That's what
You
I
had to
did.
change your insurance
I
if you
did.
wanted to. You did, didn't you? So what I'm asking you, we gotta make some changes and I need to know what them are to correct the problem.
Well,
There you go.
what we can do is we can find out, because I'm not sure. I don't think we have to have 2 places open for early voting for 2 weeks. We just have to have early voting for 2 weeks.
Is that
Maybe I'm gonna
$10,400 a
cut
week,
you
is that right?
Excuse me?
$10,400 a week, $10,400 a week?
I would,
I think that's right, I'm not gonna swear that's right, but I think I did it.
I think it's close.
I'm just trying to think, still don't say where we're 100, I don't know, that's gonna save us a little money, I agree with that, and anything else, you know what I'm saying, but.
I think y'all need to know I think y'all deserve to know what it's gonna cost you. It's already over your budget. So I think y'all should, if the election commission you just gotta communicate with them.
Yep.
Because what you're doing now is you're asking for a budget increase, so.
Was there any money budgeted for elections for last year
Yeah,
that was not used?
it doesn't matter,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't carry over?
No,
No.
it's all coming out of the same pot, so it's county general.
Right.
We cut a piece of that slice off and put it there, but if it ain't used, it goes back into that county general.
You know, and I hate it for the county employees and everyone else also. I mean, that's where I'm gonna struggle come January 1. We spent $120,000 over here. We can't afford to give any of these guys cost of living raise this year because we spent $120,000 that we don't have. You know, that's where I really struggle is the employees and the people. I mean, everything goes up, and I realize y'all's is going up too. I think when he added the $20,000, he was taking that into account. You know, I think you tried.
Yeah.
I mean,
We budgeted, so in 2022, which would have been the following general election, we budgeted $96,574. And then this year, I budgeted $109,591.
So, you know, 15,000
15,000.
roughly. You know, he was trying to make up, you know, because things have went up, you know. I'm not faulting Eric for the budget, by no means. I mean, that's not your fault. You made it more than it had ever been, thinking that you were trying to do the right thing.
You also budgeted on old numbers. You know, you budgeted on old numbers too, you didn't have the extra $25.
But that's where, I mean, and that's where the money's been spent, it's,
We did have the extra
early voting.
250 in outrage. Huh?
I mean, all the monies went to the early voting, it sounds like. Having the extra places
I don't know if
open.
Warren can give us that information with enough time.
Can we skip this ordinance and go to the others and let Warren give Warren time to bring that sheet
I don't
up?
know what he's bringing up. I don't know that he's coming back.
I think he's.
Oh, he's coming
Yeah,
back.
he's coming back. Yeah, well, let's move forward to these other resolutions and give Warren time to get back
Could I read the statement?
when Warren comes back.
Okay.
That work? Alright.
Resolution number 2024-20. Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Izard County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be enacted. A resolution authorizing the submittal of an application for ACEDP grant funds to the State of Arkansas. Whereas Izard County, Arkansas is applying for funds through the Arkansas Community and Economic Development Program, and whereas it is necessary that the certain conditions be met as part of the application requirements, and whereas Izard County, Arkansas will conduct a public hearing and will have an active citizen participation plan, community development plan, and as part of the application process will receive and consider comments on community development and housing needs and proposed activities. And whereas as a result of the community development planning activities, Izard County will identify and prioritize the community development and housing needs. Now therefore be it resolved that the Quorum Court of Izard County, Arkansas, that the County Judge of Izard County is hereby authorized on behalf of Izard County to submit an application to the State of Arkansas for grant funds under the community development provision of the Arkansas Community and Economic Development Program, and to expend funds to accomplish such community development activities if the grant is awarded. This resolution passed and adopted in regular session September 9, 2024.
So this is to allow me to apply for a grant for some road improvement.
Like what road improvements?
Huh?
What road improvements?
Go to Campground Road is the one I'm applying for.
Where's that at? Which one is that?
Oxford.
Oxford.
Goes to the hog farm.
Yeah.
What do you want to do there?
Pave it if grants up to $500,000. Possible it'd be a paving. And it's for areas of, low, poverty level, basically. It's what makes it eligible to apply for.
I'm gonna make a motion to pass the resolution.
Motion, do I hear a second?
I second.
A second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say likewise.
What was that resolution number again?
2024-20.
First of
Warren,
all,
did
let me get something clear here. I have no authority to deny any claim from anybody. That guy right there does.
Yeah, I think it was a conversation I had with Eric.
So he denied your claim?
He didn't deny it, he said it would
Well, no,
have to
you
go
said
through-
I denied it. You just said I denied
I
it.
said
No, that's
I
what you
wasn't
said.
sure, I know we've had conversations.
And I don't remember, if it was
I
like
don't
October, I don't know.
Warren, I don't.
Don't, look, don't lie. Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying
Backtrack.
to you.
Stand, no, yeah, you are.
Alright.
Yeah, you are. It's all right. Go ahead.
Did you get stuff for the Quorum Court, or was you gonna get that later? Oh, I thought that's what you would want, something from,
It'll take a minute to get that. I can get it for him.
okay,
I'll email it out to him.
okay, alright. We'll move forward with this next resolution. Yeah. Yes,
Can I just, my name is Esther,
yeah,
and I know there's a gridlock, and we were talking about the kind of locations that we have in that county for the early voting. Well, I've been here for a while now, but the county that I moved from in Ohio, it's for Stark County, it had about 372,000 people. And actually for the early voting, they had only one location. And they were able to manage that. I mean, if you're trying to kind of reduce be a little more cost effective, I don't know whether that would be effective, but I was just trying to give you an example of how they function there with 372,000 population for the early voting, 2 weeks early voting, they had one site. So I don't know whether that's going to help reduce, I don't know, I mean, I'm just saying that.
Alright, thank you, Esther.
Thank you.
2024-21. A resolution authorizing the county judge and county clerk of Izard County, Arkansas to enter into an administrative agreement with the White River Planning and Development District. Whereas Izard County, Arkansas anticipates funding from the Arkansas Economic Development Commission for a community development application. And whereas Izard County, Arkansas requires assistance to identify and implement the regulations pertaining to the said grant. And whereas it will be necessary for the county judge and county clerk to act in connection with the administrative agreement. Now therefore it is resolved that the Quorum Court of Izard County, Arkansas hereby declares that the county judge and county clerk be authorized to execute an agreement with the White River Planning and Development District to provide administrative services to the county. Such cost and contract formats to be pre-approved by the AEDC and all such costs to be paid by the AEDC from the grant.
These two resolutions go hand in hand. If they're not approved, they don't get paid.
So they're one that help the plan for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're the ones that are gonna apply for it.
Yes.
On behalf of the judge, right?
Yes. Yep.
I'll make motions to accept the resolution, Judge.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say likewise. Right. Yes. I know it wasn't on the computer and I know we was aware of it last
We
week.
talked about it last week, it's about naming the 44 bridge, I believe, probably need to get Florida Justice Sam.
Yep, just,
Yeah. What that is, you must tell some residents of 44 approaching about naming 44 Bridge, and so-and-so 7 Hunt Bridge, Florida Pine Creek going into Calico. And most of the residents that lives around that is one that named 44 Bridge, it's a memorial of the community that used to be there. You know, is what it's for. You know, so they would like it to be named 44 Bridge. It's not after anybody, just after the community. That's what they would like, so well, that's us.
yep.
Reasonable thing I've heard all night.
No money.
Resolution number 2024-22. Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of the County of Izard, State of Arkansas, that whereas numerous Izard County citizens have petitioned that the new bridge being built over Piney Creek on Arkansas State Highway 56 be named the 44 Bridge. And whereas ARDOT requires the Izard County Quorum Court to pass a resolution in order to name the bridge, the Izard County Quorum Court hereby resolves that. The name of the bridge currently being built over Piney Creek on Arkansas State Highway 56 shall be named 44 Bridge.
Heard the reading of the resolution, do I hear a motion to approve it?
I'll make a motion.
Motion and a second.
Willie.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say likewise. Y'all have any more questions on our first ordinance? Any more discussion, any more questions?
Treasurer's gonna send that information to all the.
I'll get it out to them tomorrow.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have you looked at that, Warren, and you see anything that jumps out? I mean, those two.
There's lots of things. I mean, there's lots of things. This is the first year we've ever had to rent a trailer to deliver the voting machines. I mean, there's lots of things in there. I'll go through it and I'll highlight what pops out at me and I'll send it to you.
See, in the past, when it was, Randall hired somebody, we did hire somebody, but they had a trailer and they delivered it. This year I used Billy, but we had to get it in U-Haul trailer to haul them.
I mean, it's minor, but I'm just saying it. I really feel like if we'll go back to everyone working together for the good of the county, and we'll put on a better election with a lot less headaches, and we'll all get through it together, but we gotta communicate and we gotta work together. And that doesn't happen anymore.
Well, we're missing the boat on that.
Yeah.
100%. It's a total disconnect.
And if the commission could put together what you think you're gonna be needing for the rest of this year, 2024.
Dollar amount.
A dollar amount.
I will do by that. We had a lot of expense because we had to have special people come in to monitor our election as a primary because there was so much contention about being in the right precinct and that. We had a lot of contention.
Did I not read in the paper where something's fixing to happen like that again?
Yes.
Why is
That's
that
why
voter registration
September
issue?
5th and 6th, there were two people on the first day and person on the 6th of September down here trying to straighten up the voter registration problem.
So we're fixing to pay someone to come set again? Is that what you're saying?
Or it's a done deal. Joe had them in his office and he was in there working with them
Right.
to try to get.
To try to get it resolved. Well, I think it needs to be done. I mean, it's screwed up. That's a fact.
There's gonna be monitors again.
Voter
General
registration issues need to be fixed.
And they're being.
Oh, I would agree 100%.
They're being. But that was, I'm pretty sure that was expensive to have them during the primary.
But that's not added to this bill that we've already got. That's an additional cost, so it's more
No,
than that.
that's part of the one that Warren's on, is,
I've not paid that bill.
well, again.
Last Thursday and Friday, I've not paid that.
No,
That's
no, no, no.
During the
$7,000.
election,
I'm
there
talking about
was
the primary. We
some,
had people in the
somebody
primary.
came,
Is that not the state of Arkansas? No? Did we
Oh, I
get
don't
billed
know.
for that?
No, it's ES&S software.
Joe,
Okay, but we have another expense for the people
I
who
don't
came
recall
in.
that, I don't recall having a bill from the ES&S for coming in and monitoring.
No, I haven't heard about it.
For the
They've not
primary.
paid me.
okay.
Was it the gentleman that was here when we, certified the election? Is that the one you're talking about? Right?
He's one of them.
Oh, that's the only one that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Did we pay him?
I'm not, I mean, I have to go back and look, I'm not aware of it, I don't remember it coming across my desk.
But the ones that were here this week were, someone that I got that the county, that my office pays for, clerk's office, comes out of my budget, so.
But are we gonna pay the one that's coming in to monitor us during the election?
Those would be people from the state. I don't believe they are charged. They don't charge.
Yeah, I don't think we paid them.
Yeah, I think Chris said
monitors.
he's sending some.
Chris said he's sending several.
I was about to say that.
You wanna read your
We
statement?
should have hired those people. I mean, that is screwed up. I mean, we gotta get it fixed.
You wanna read your statement now before we move forward?
The voter registration problems are finally getting addressed. It was found that it has been an ongoing issue since 2002, mostly affecting the city of Horseshoe Bend, but it is a county-wide problem. The Selection Commission, with the assistance of the state board, found the errors back in 2022 during the general election. The issues were reported, but no action has been taken until recently. County Clerk Joe Kerber hired a specialist to assist his office in taking the necessary steps to fix the discrepancies in our voter registration. A letter dated June the 5th of 2023 to Mr. Cooper's office by the State Board of Election Commissioners explained that an investigation was conducted after the general election of 2022, and it was found that the disagreement existed between the county GIS mapping, the state of Arkansas GIS mapping data, excuse me, and the county voter registration records. The investigation has found that these data discrepancies have existed and have been exacerbated over several decades, beginning back in 2002. The county clerk has the fundamental responsibility to ensure the voting assignments in the voter registration systems are correct. The Selection Commission, with the assistance of the former coordinator Brett, worked tirelessly to ensure that the voters could cast their vote in a smooth, well-documented election. It is very intense to work the process when things go well. imagine what it is to work with constant resistance and obstacles. The voter registration issues generated frivolous complaints against this commission we are still addressing. We appreciate Mr. Cooper's efforts to address the issue. Hopefully it will all be taken care of before October 21st. Our pay reflects a very serious job that is to be an election official. Dedication and attention to detail, plus integrity are the key. We are very hopeful that Mr. Cooper is going to have everything squared away. We're going to have lots of questions and probably complaints with some of the changes, but that's just going to have to be because it can't be like it's always been.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And listen, Joe ain't gonna get it all right, is all I'm saying. We just need to be prepared for that. It ain't never been all right. You can go back to, I said, no, she said 2002, you can go back to 1972, and it wasn't right. I mean, it's never perfect. You gotta keep that in mind. You just gotta do the best you can do. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. But you do have to, it is messed up, I know that for a fact, and it needs to be fixed. I mean, especially in these wards and JP districts and stuff like that. As a whole, as a countywide election, I don't think it's screwed up, just per se. But I think it is when you get down to JP districts and mayor's district, I mean, all that, it's a wreck. I mean, I know my JP district's wrong. I mean, I can go through there and I can show you, I can take the deal and I can show you the ones that are not in it. Yeah, I know, we talked about it and he's taking care of it, you know? Yeah, no, all is well, but I'm just saying that's.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, that's everywhere, but he was dealt that too. It sure ain't his fault. He walked in and it was that way, and he is trying to improve it.
He inherited that.
He inherited a problem, you know, and it went back way before 2002. You know, it's been forever, and it has gradually gotten worse because we haven't fixed it over time. You know, and it does get worse. I agree with that.
And technology makes it.
Should make it easier, except it's
But I
cost
think
us
it
more.
made it harder.
Yeah, well, we gotta get it right,
Yeah, I agree.
so, all of us. You know, we can sit down, y'all, we can sit down and we can see what we can do about, cutting some costs. We're willing to. I'll work with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, when it comes to budget time, this year, we want y'all involved during the budget time to help me with the budget for sure, and we can kind of figure up the cost of what,
But like we talked about, you need to provide us of what it's gonna cost us the rest of the year. I mean, because I'm afraid that it's more than you even budgeted for the whole year to finish out the year.
I didn't budget it, you guys budgeted.
But
why would we expect it to quadruple?
You know, why would we expect it to be so much more than it's ever been? You know, we done the educated guess because y'all weren't here to do it.
What Warren said, it didn't quadruple, it's just significantly more than it was before.
Significant, big word.
Well, I mean, it was $58,000 in 2000 and, what do you say, 20? And today it's gonna be $240,000.
What was the,
That's what
are we comparing apples to apples, presidential election to presidential election?
That's what he went back to do, that's what he was doing. He was trying to go back to a presidential election, the reason he pulled those numbers right.
You know, the cost was also significantly less back then as well, so,
Okay, let's read this ordinance and either get a motion or we don't.
Well, there's somebody, one of y'all wanna read.
Y'all want it read?
I read it 15 times. I read it about 15 times.
Do we wanna vote on
Somebody
it?
wants to read it, then you need to entertain a motion to table it, because, I mean, y'all can always go back and catch up.
I'd like to see those
And
numbers.
I understand, I think y'all want to see the numbers from the treasurer, and I think y'all also wanna hear from the election commission on, what they're gonna further need from you.
Do I hear a motion to table the ordinance for a third?
I'll make the motion to table.
Got a motion, do I hear a second? Second. All in favor, signify by saying. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say likewise.
I just,
Go ahead.
could I add, we'll have to have a meeting to make the decision whether we're gonna change, early voting places. So,
Okay.
we just can't just say we're gonna do it, we have to have a
That's
meeting.
gonna cost us $125, right? Per person?
Mhm.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean. just
When
think
we
that way.
have the
Yeah,
meeting,
we
so
have
the
one.
quorum can go to it in the morning.
If they want, when we set it up.
If you would, when you're gonna have that meeting, let my office know, let Tammy know, and we'll send out text to the JPs.
That would be great. You have better,
Do have some good news. I did get a, hazard mitigation grant to, which they've changed it a little bit from, this is a low water bridge going to a high water bridge, gonna be on Ash Trail. $147,000, project. That's some good news.
One bridge problem seemed like a long time.
Lafferty Bridge is completed. Got the guardrails up on it last week, so, that's good. Looking for my road update. Alright, road department graded approximately 165 miles. They cut 45 miles of right of way with a sidearm bush hog. We hauled 122 loads of clay gravel, 50 loads of crushed rock. Like I said, we, completed the Lafferty Bridge project, put up the guardrails and everything last week. Some other old business, NADC building that we had talked about. We talked about finding, the lease and everything else on that. After, finally, I found it in the Quorum Court minutes from, it's 1990?
1991.
And they, in them minutes, stated that they would have an acre and a half of land for as long as they were using the building, as long as they own NADC was established. So, I don't guess we'll have to go back to a lease, or do you think we need to get one drawn up? It's in the Quorum Court minutes, so they're planning on moving back into that building with their offices, and moving out of the old hospital eventually. Charlie brought us some picture of the jail project.
That picture was as good as I took this morning before noon. To me, it seems like it's going slow, but construction people I talk to act like it's going pretty fast, so I don't know.
And let me tell you where we're at on spending on that. I know somebody asked last meeting, so. We're at $695,324 to that point. And then on our ARPA money for the gravel, I've got 22,000 left of that. And on the bridge, ARPA money, I've got 179 left. And then courthouse, still waiting on the cushions. I think we'll have somewhere around $1,000 left on that. Should be good on that.
I would like to say that we went to a new program on collecting fines and fees through circuit court. And we got everything uploaded, and it's actually able to give me a total. 2.9 million is what's outstanding by fines, fees, and restitution to the county and the victims of the cases. Out of those, 1.5 million of that is delinquent by 90 days or more by folks. So we started sending out letters to these people that we're not able to do show causes to, because about 90% of those we found by going through programs to find their addresses live out of state. So we started sending letters in that. Some of them have responded, and you can see that our fines have actually went up quite a bit this last month since we started that collecting. Now we're to the process that those that are not responding to the letters, we've talked to the circuit judge, he's gonna sign a letter or sign an order to have their driver's license suspended. So we're hoping doing that might get their attention a little more, because
We'll get there.
several years ago, we used to do warrants for non-payment fines, and the state of Arkansas says, no, you gotta stop that, that's debtor's prison. But in my opinion, this is a court order, they agreed to it, either plea agreement or court order to do so, and they're not holding up their end of the bargain. I've also spoke with the, president, or not president, but the, director of the Association of Sheriffs of the state, and he is going to talk to the board. We're actually gonna have a meeting next week, talk about possibility of getting some legislation saying people are on probation and parole cannot get off without having their stuff paid. Because right now, on parole, if you get out of prison on parole, there's nothing they can hang over you if you don't pay. Probation, theoretically, they can, do a revocation on your probation and try to do it that way, but doing it that way is not working. So I want to make it on the front end where they know and try to do something, try not, because we're talking about money troubles here, the fines and fees and costs of the county, sure use it.
Warren, how is that distributed, the fines and stuff? Does the county, what do we do with that?
We don't get all of it. It's broken down, it's formula every month. A lot of it, well, actually, most of it goes to the state. It's called the admin and justice, and I send them a check. We have our monthly share, which totals to $2,564.65. So, you know, there's some of those fines will go directly to county general, depending on how they're coded on their side. And I'm not 100% sure how Talia and even on the district court side, how they code it to whether it goes to admin and justice or whether it stays in the county. But a lot of that money goes to the admin and justice to pay for prosecuting attorneys and public defenders and that type of stuff.
I've got something real quick.
Okay.
AEDs, you know what I'm talking about? Everybody know what I'm talking about? We've still got some COVID money left. We don't have a lot, but we do have a little bit. Is there anybody that has an objective or opinion on furnishing an AED to each school? Calico Rock, the Melbourne, and the ICC. And these things are $1,500, $2,000.
Why don't we bought, Gary, do we have any left? I know we bought, all the deputies had one.
First response bags and first aid kits, but when we got the AEDs, they all went out.
They all went out.
Yeah.
Or is there a grant we can apply for maybe? But I mean, I don't wanna wait any longer than we have to, you know what I'm saying? But I would like for, whenever they're having a ball game, that there's one at the basketball court or a football game, that there's one sitting there. You know, something, but anyway, I think that's a good use of our money to provide one of them.
Does the schools not already have them?
I don't know.
A lot of it does, I don't count
I
the
started saying, it seems like the schools have, because they were granted those.
the tabs and stuff, are dated.
I think they're out of date, I think is the issue.
I don't know if they're out of date, I'll be at the gym here.
I don't know, just check.
30 minutes from here, so look.
If it's something that we can provide and help them.
Okay, but, so, there might be one at Melbourne's gym, but that don't mean there's one at the football.
Right, or vice versa, you know, would one help them in?
Salem had one a few years ago. They had one right there.
But we can get that through our medical, emergency medical. We got $600,000 there.
Right, okay, so that would be fine. Does anyone have a problem if we need to put it on the agenda next, or whatever, or if we can go ahead and order, I don't care how we do it, we won't put it and vote on it next time?
Let's just check with the schools if you don't care to see what they have.
See if they could use one. If somebody will check with ICC, can you check with ICC?
Yeah, I know that. Especially at the football field.
Yeah, you know, they need one, I think, in both locations.
Whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I just think that it's a good.
Even on a bus ride or whatever, you can do a post.
Yes.
Just something to keep with it.
But yeah, we got one there.
Softball game.
$1,500, $2,000, something like that, they're not overly expensive, but I think that. Yeah,
I don't
if
think
it's
they're
like no matter.
I don't think they're any more than 2,000.
Yeah.
They come down fast.
The state still has not inspected it yet. Waiting on that. Slow. Do you have a comment?
I'm sorry, I just want to comment again, but, how much money do we have for the COVID money? left?
Only about 50,000
that's
left.
not approved.
Is there a way, I mean, this is another thing that I'm kind of a little passionate about, is the drug addiction problem that we have. Is there any educational program or awareness program,
We have
prevention program?
two different grants that are in process right now on that.
Okay, and what, I mean, is there any kind of billboards going up, educational programs in schools and?
Actually,
Yeah, they got some,
Just
in
one
the
the Izard
schools,
County
yeah.
Health Coalition, we meet on the first Thursday of every month, and that's what it deals with. There's, both the COVID grant, or the COPE grants, which is, opioid, the tobacco grant, all of those people come to those meetings. So we usually have it at Ozark at the Student Center. You're more than welcome to attend. And we
And it's
discuss,
Thursday
the
what?
sheriff's usually
Okay.
there, we discuss what's going on. There's a lot in place to fight all of those addictions. There is. So,
Because
yeah.
I've not seen any billboards or any education, you know, because I keep asking people, but I've not really, at the community level, I've not seen that happening.
And this year, I was able to get, for all the school resource officers for the high schools, a curriculum for, drug awareness and things like that. So they're trying to implement that during their day.
Okay, thank you. When is this? When is the meeting?
First Thursday of every month at 1 o'clock, Ozark.
Thank you.
Call my office, I'll let you know.
Anything else?
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn.
Got a second? Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.